Welcome back to the Unbiased Opinion, where everyone's opinion is biased.
Except ours.
I'm Colin.
I'm Craig.
And I'm Daniel.
And Craig, why don't you introduce what we are talking about this week?
We are talking about the newest sensation and craze of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. The newest mainline Pokemon games that came out November last year, right?
Yeah, I think so, November. That seems right to me.
Close enough. Holiday season.
I
And
think
it's
it
like
was
one.
November 18th specifically.
Oh. Yeah, it's like one of the best selling Pokemon games of all time. But I guess the big selling point is that's like the actual first open world 3D Pokemon game.
But not really at the same time.
No, it is.
I mean, I guess we'll get into some of the weird things the game does.
I mean, like Legends Arceus, that was not open world. That was like big maps to explore, but this is, I guess, you get the whole map, so it's open world.
Yeah.
Well, Craig, how about we start about what you like about it?
Oof. I mean, I think it's finally time that they did make it open world, but it wasn't done as well as I would have liked. I don't know. I got a lot more bad stuff to say than maybe good.
Oh,
Really?
what about you, Daniel?
Yeah, I I enjoyed the idea of open world, but like Craig was saying, it could have been done better. But I still think the game was fine. It was a fun time. I just I don't know, it seems like it's like a stepping stone. Like they obviously for the next one you hope that they improve upon it, but it was I still enjoyed it for what it was.
I think I liked Sword and Shield more than this one.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah. I think I found this one to be a little annoying. I guess we could talk about. I'll talk about my positives. Uh, I didn't hate it. I mean, I enjoyed playing it. Don't get me wrong. I liked some of the new Pokemon and whatnot. I picked the Fire
Yeah.
type, whatever his name is. I forget.
I think we all picked
Uh,
Skeletor.
Yeah,
Fuecoca was the starter
yeah. I
form.
picked him. He's pretty cool.
Well, I mean, even if he wasn't cool, he was just more. At the very least, he was better than what the other ones were being offered.
Yeah, like somebody like it's like so feminine. It's like I can't pick that.
Well, it's like a
Need my Death Roll Gator.
yeah. The Gator's pretty cool.
Yeah, Skeletor's was cool.
So I guess should we just talk about negatives then? Because it seems like Craig has a lot more to say. And I have the least probably to say in terms of negative, but I think what I was going to say was that when you said it's open world, it is, but you can't really do the gym battles in any order as they advertised.
Well, I'm in open world. Like you have access to the
Oh
entire
yeah, yeah,
map.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
But like that's why I said it is, but then it's really not because then you can't really do the gyms in any order because everyone's like they're all set to a certain level, and that's really annoying.
I mean, I guess that's one of the overarching points. Like, it's just lazy. I know the Game Freak's incompetent, but like at some point, it's just like, how could you not do any better? Like, this is so easy to think about. It's such an easy fix. Like,
Yeah,
why can't you
whatever.
just have level
Yeah,
like if you have this many gym badges, then that's the level of their Pokemon.
yeah. That's it's
yeah.
like so simple to do.
Because even I think wasn't like the gang
Oh my
hideouts
gosh,
the same way.
jeez.
The gang hideouts were the same way.
Like you really couldn't do them in any specific. You had to do them kind of in order, like with the gyms, like the
Someone
correlating
breaking
gym.
in your house?
I
Jeez.
feel like they'll
But
do anything.
but with the with the gang hideouts too, it's like you couldn't really do any of them in just random order. You kind of had to. You did the one gym in the area, then you had to go do the gang hideout as well. Kind of seemed.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I'm
'cause, like,
saying. Where oh yeah, Craig, you know what? You go. You go, Craig.
also, because I guess I kind of agreeing. Like I think there was a set order you're supposed to do. Like same thing with the gym battles, and same thing with the other storyline, the Titans. I think same thing. There was like a set order you're supposed to do them in.
I
which
thought that stuff was really lame.
the Titans.
Yeah.
It's like my dog is sick. I need this like magic herbs. It's like can't you just go to the Like it's basically
Yeah.
magic. Like can't
And
you just
then
go to the
and
Poke
then you
Doctor?
like you make a
Well,
sandwich and then whatever legendary you pick eats the sandwich and he becomes stronger.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, so I guess let's talk about the means of
Coridon.
transportation. I don't know what the one is named in Violet. I
Wait,
have the
wait, wait. Before you, uh,
oh,
do you ever see the animation of your character eating the sandwich?
I think he. I don't think I don't remember.
I never did that, but I saw people online talking about it because I don't care about that side stuff. And what they do is they have like a picture, like a still image of the sandwich, and your character's 3D model goes over the image and like pretend like his mouth is like going
Oh my
over it to
god.
pretending to eat it. It's the laziest thing I've ever seen.
Oh my god.
Like they
So
couldn't just, quickly like other games do this. You have the model of the sandwich, just have
Craig,
him
you're
eating
spooking
it.
out.
But it's just so that's the thing of the game. It's so lazy. You've got the resources to do it. Why don't you just do it? Or if this is really such an issue, why? Like, why do
So
you?
I picked the electric type. I forget his name.
It
You
was
played Violet.
Cor-
What?
wait.
I picked the
The what?
electric type legendary. I have Violet. You guys have Scarlet.
Yes,
That was
And
Coridon was for Scarlet.
I think yours
sure.
is Miradon.
Sure. Okay. But he's exactly like the Rotom bike from Sword and Shield. Besides him being able to scale walls, and it's just like it's kind of the same thing.
Well, actually, 'cause you didn't play Legends Arceus. It's the exact
Yeah.
same thing as
It's
Arceus. You
yeah.
have like you
Oh,
could call these. It's like HM Pokemon. It's just like Legend Arceus, except instead of 5 Pokemon, you get all in one, which I guess
Yeah.
is an improvement. But I don't know why you
But
can't just like you
yeah.
don't really
But
need that.
at least with those ones you had a battle to get those. They weren't just handed to you at the beginning. Like you would have to do like a challenge
well,
to
I didn't
get them.
mind it being handed to you because like how else are you going to be able to scale the map?
I mean, you just have it all in the beginning.
I mean, yeah, but
I don't know. I would have preferred like just a simple bike, and if you need like a Pokemon to do something, like just call out your own Pokemon. Like you already like you could do that now. Like call out Pokemon to do like a quick battle. Just call out your Pokemon. He'll like rock smash and or cut, and then you're fine. At least
that's what I'm
makes your
saying.
team feel more
Yeah,
connected.
it was just like
Yeah.
the Rotom bike. It was just so useless. I mean, not useless, but it just felt lazy, as Craig is saying.
Especially the way it unlocks its powers.
And
I
also
think the
Uses so
too,
Rotom
many.
bike was faster too.
I mean, I don't
Maybe,
remember.
maybe I don't remember
yeah.
too much.
But and the thing on like Coridon for the Scarlet version, like he had he had like that big wheel on his chest, but he wasn't moving like a bike. He was using his all fours to move.
Mine
It
moved
was
like a
just like
bike. Mine was cooler.
well, yours was more like jet propulsion. Like it actually was like a more like mechanical. So that was fine. But for Coridon, like he had like a wheel in his chest, but he never used it. It was a pointless design. He
Well, I
would have
think the
looked
same
much
thing with
cooler if they took
Cyclizar.
it out. Yeah.
Like Cyclizar is the same thing. I don't think it uses its wheel.
Yeah, that design it should have just taken the wheel out. It would have looked much better without it.
Yeah, I don't get it. I mean, even the future one, I don't think uses the wheel, right? It's like hovering. I mean, I could be
I don't
wrong, but
remember.
I'm pretty sure it hovers. I don't think actually none of them use the wheel.
I think Miradon. I think he uses it.
Oh, okay, maybe wrong. I mean, I didn't play it, but I could have sworn he just hovers.
No, he. I think he uses it because Miradon's cooler. I'm looking at the
Like, I
box.
guess going back to that story though, I could not care less about that guy's sick dog. And it's like his mommy daddy issues. I really don't care. Like just like if your dog's that sick, just go to the doctor. Like I don't care what you need these like special herbs.
Craig has no sympathy.
Uh, like I just want to play. I want to catch Pokemon. I want to battle. I don't really want to deal with this guy's sick dog.
I also too I wish for the Titan Pokemons like they kind of could have been their own like like cloth like fighting a giant cloth when you can just catch cloths in the valley. Like I wish like they just did a different one. Like what's the point of having a giant one for it? Could just had like like new Pokemon as the Titan ones, like their own set, like not just big versions of the of regular ones on the map.
Oh yeah, because I mean, at least have like a pseudo legendary or something. Because I don't know, I
Yeah,
didn't really care to fight like a giant claw or a was it ortho worm.
Great Tusk was one of them.
Yeah, but at least that was one of the paradox Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that storyline was I didn't really care for that storyline. The other storyline, which I really did not care for, was the Starfall one with the bullying people.
Yeah, that was a little weird.
Yeah, yeah, that was dumb.
Like they're trying to make it like sympathetic, like oh these people were bullied and they become the bullies. I'm like, well that's just what happens when people get bullied. They usually become the bully. Like it's really that shocking. Like I don't really feel sympathy for them. Like they're gonna get kicked out of school because of bullying people. It's like, all right, man, get kicked out of school. I have no sympathy. I'm not your friend.
Craig, how much was your mind blown when it turned out that guy helping you was the professor?
like, like this is where like I start to wonder. Like I know it's targeted more for kids, but like how dumb do they think kids are? Like I don't think that fooled anyone. Like I'm not even sure like would have found that funny either.
More creepy, if anything.
You know that too. I don't know. It's just one of those things I wonder. Like uh, I like playing the games, but like I wonder am I just getting too old? Is is that it?
Well, I think the storylines fit for like the older, standard Pokemon version, but it's like when you have an open, like when you advertise an open world, it should be more on that, not you like restricted to these like stupid storylines. It should be more essentially, just run around and catch Pokemon.
I mean, you can do that in this one. It's just if you go to that lake area, you have like a level 10 Pokemon. Everything else there is level 50.
But it's just like essentially like who really cares for the storylines? Like in that like in doing the like going through like helping this guy with his dog like oh like thanks yeah I'll go fight the Titan Pokemon so your dog can have a sandwich. Prick.
Well, it's funny because I feel like I know I'm the minority in this opinion where I do not care at all about video game stories. I know lots of people actually do care. I know I'm in the minority about this, but I
Well,
do not
clearly you
care at
never
all.
played The Last of Us.
Yeah, I
The
haven't.
Last
I
of Us
never will.
2.
Get beaten to death by a man with a golf club.
Jeez.
Anyway, I didn't care about the bullying. Obviously, that what's her Penny? Obviously, she was involved. Like it was a little too obvious and on the nose. Like that's the thing too. A lot of these twists, like they don't fool me. I wonder, like, who are they for? Like, are kids really this gullible,
Yes.
or are they just hoping that? Because the game break's been open about the fact that like they know uh, kids have like shorter attention spans, and, like they want to play a lot of mobile games and like quick dopamine hits. So like they make their games to try to compete with mobile games and stuff. So like hopefully maybe you're not paying attention, you won't realize that this is like a huge twist. But then if they're not paying attention, they don't care about the story. I'm just rambling, but
I mean, the only sort of twist is that the professor's a robot.
oh yeah, that's the other one of the other storylines.
Yeah, when you go into
Area Zero.
yeah.
I really care about the bullying stuff. Like, oh boo hoo, you got bullied, whatever.
Jeez.
It's like I don't care. Like especially like the bullying they do is like very PG or G. It's like you smell. You're bad at battling Pokemon. It's like I can't even feel bad. Like if you really cry over that, I can't feel bad for you. Like you can't take a little banter. Like okay, well I in fact maybe you deserve it.
They clearly wouldn't be able to survive an MW2 lobby back in the day.
Yeah, that's where men were formed.
Yeah. the the remnant of those men can be found in Friday the 13th lobbies.
Yeah.
I guess the last storyline was getting the gym badges. Which is your traditional Pokemon get gym
Yeah,
badges. Like we were saying, you can't do it in any order. And I
yeah.
don't know, just that was like the typical stuff. Like nothing really changed there.
Like I should rephrase the story thing. Like obviously you need the gym battles. That's an essential. And but like I liked more of the storylines like when they were like in Legends Arceus or even like Pokemon like Sword and Shield, like where it's more you're going into like these mythological aspects of Pokemon. Like those are cool, and you have to like fight these ancient Pokemon. Like I just don't care. These misfits are forming gang hideouts in the middle of the map. It's like get out of the way, you prick! I want to go catch that Pokemon. Like they're more of a nuisance. It's not like you know. But like that's what like Legends Arceus, I did enjoy that. Like where it's more mythology. Going into the god tier Pokemons. Like that's cool.
That
But
stuff
like
always appeals to me more too.
yeah, like that those storylines are fine, but like these like very kiddish ones of like I don't
See,
know. This
This
is
is
remember
where I
when
just
wonder,
Team
like,
Galactic is trying to end the world?
and the universe.
Yeah.
Well, this is too like where I wonder, like, are we getting too old for this? Because obviously, a lot of like more recent Pokemon games that's really targeted like for really young kids. Like you're in a prep academy or whatever, a prep school. Like that's something we can't really relate to. We never went to one. That's definitely more of a Japanese thing. Like in Gen 7, you basically went to a Pokemon school. I don't think either one of you played that, but you went to a Pokemon school. It's like I know your kids are your target demographic, but I feel like they're your only demographic. Like lots of adults do play it, like weirdos like us. But I do want to say one
Weirdos.
thing.
Peg is a weirdo.
Yeah, but he probably plays it for a different reason. I don't know if you guys are paying attention, but do you know the champion Gita, right?
No.
She was the champion for the Elite Four.
I
yeah,
I honestly don't remember.
She
yeah.
had like the hair, the long hair.
She was like in
Possibly.
all black, right? Like her hair was like black,
That
and
doesn't
she was like
matter.
in a black suit, right?
So the last Pokemon she had was Glimmamora, and its ability is called Toxic Debris, where when you hit it, it launches toxic spikes onto the field. It was her last
Yeah.
Pokemon.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I actually started laughing like out loud because like again, I know it's targeted for children. I'm gonna keep saying that, but it's so brain dead easy. It's like I don't understand. Like you can't make it like why can't it be her first Pokemon? It's a very easy fix. It's not like you're making the fight
she
that much more difficult.
she uses King Gambit first, then Glumora's last.
Again, it's like I don't understand. Like
It's like using Destiny Bond when you have one Pokemon left on your opponent.
enable 6. It's like I know it's targeted for children, but it's like why even have it like that? Like I don't know. It makes me like frustrated because like again, people mistaken they want like this super difficult Pokemon where it's like really difficult, like competitive. We're never gonna get that. Like it's if you think you're gonna get that, you're delusional. But that being said, like could you at least make it not brain dead like some of the older games? I don't know. That's just my wish. Where I feel like just because even now it's so much easier because all your Pokemon are leveled up.
I don't think you're ever gonna get that, Chief.
I'm just saying like to the point where that's like not brain dead. Like maybe I actually have a lose battle. I actually lose a battle once in a while, as opposed to like never getting close to losing.
Yeah, yeah, because these definitely comparing it to like Sword and Shield and like even like Brilliant Diamond or like the Elite Four, at least in those ones, like took out like a good portion, if not most of my team, like in the fights. Like
I
you
was thinking
actually
like
had
even
to,
like in Emerald and the original
yeah,
Platinum, like that at least I lost a couple of Pokemon. Well, also because my starter was silver leveled, so
yeah,
yeah, it's just I don't know.
yeah.
And then we go down to Area Zero to meet the professor with whoever one you got. It was actually an AI, which I don't know why that's a twist, but it's an AI.
That kid's dog is dying, and then his mom bailed on him.
I guess then you get like these paradox Pokemon, which I don't really. They're called paradox because they don't make sense. Like they're supposed to be from the ancient past or the distant future, but apparently they're just from some guy's journal he made up. So I don't know how they exist. Like, do you understand why they exist the way they do?
No, I think they're just a gimmick.
Oh, I know they're a gimmick, but like I don't understand like how they exist. I know that's why probably why they're called paradox Pokemon, but I don't know. Like unless I'm missing something. Because I remember like you found like some book in the library called like the Scarlet or Violet book. But like some guy was like, "Yeah, I found the Pokemon that looks like this," and it's apparently some guys made up OCs that came to life somehow.
Yeah.
I
Mm.
guess you guys weren't paying attention.
No, not really. Not at least with that stuff.
I mean, which one do you like more, the past or the future ones?
I thought the future ones were pretty cool.
I also agree.
Hmm.
It's a shame that like they have these lazy kind of names though.
Oh yeah, like the I don't like the Sandy Shocks or whatever. I don't like those names. But even like the future ones are worse. They're all Iron something.
Yeah, like Iron Thorns or something. It's all
Yeah,
pretty
Iron
lazy.
Moth.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can't say I care for the names. I mean, they look kind of cool.
Yeah, like the Tyranitar one, whatever his name is.
Mechagodzilla.
Yeah, he was pretty cool.
Yeah, I think he's definitely my favorite. I also like the future Volcarona, future Hydreigon, even on future Delibird. Such a terrible Pokemon, but actually looks kind of cool.
Yeah, he
I
has like
did. I did
a
like
water thing, like a big pouch with him or whatever.
out of all like the ancient ones, I did like Great Tusk. I thought he was cool.
I think my favorite was the future Salamence, Roaring Moon.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I was just talking about for the Scarlet version, like of the ancient ones, ancient
Yeah.
paradox. I did like Great Tusk, and Roaring Moon was good. Was cool too.
Well, I don't know. Just also all these gimmicks they keep adding. I get to get people to keep playing.
Well, I guess in terms of updates to this game, we have to talk about the crystallizing.
Oh,
Yeah, that
the
animation
newest
goes
battle
on
gimmick.
for way too long. And that's like another
I
complaint
know.
I had with Sword and Shield with the stupid Dynamax. Just went on way too long.
Yeah, don't forget you never played like the Mega Evolution, the Z moves. It's all the same.
Yeah, it just
Yeah, with the crystallizing, especially when it was like they did the animation, you sucked it back in the ball and then threw it back out, and then after that, then they have to crystallize, and then they show the emblem on the head. It's like, oh god, I always dreaded getting to like whoever I was fighting, their last Pokemon, because I'm like, yep, we're both gonna have to go through the animation.
See, I wish this could be like a side mode, like a Battle Frontier side mode. Your Pokemon could be any type. They kind of find like the most broken strategy you can. But the Battle Frontier is like a no. We can't even like mention that anymore.
I guess another big problem with the game is that there's really not much to do after you beat everything.
Well, it's like that's been a problem with all like the more recent ones.
At least
Because
like in Sword and Shield, you could go to that tournament. You could go through two kinds of tournaments. At least you had that. Not even in this one, you could do something like that.
well, it's been a problem for recent ones because like Game Freak said back in the remake of Mega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, they said kids play mobile games and we know they're not going to like do the post game stuff, so we're just not going to even bother doing it. Essentially, what they said,
Yeah.
which is really sickening.
Would you guys? Speaking of limited, the online, the multiplayer.
Because Dano thought we could actually like be really involved and like I don't trust these people. They're very incompetent.
I
And
had
sure
some
enough, it
hope because we could finally. I was like, all right, cool. We could finally, all play together. And there was,
was very
I was
limited.
mistaken. Yeah,
So
we
don't
couldn't
trust
even
Game
like.
Freak to be technically competent. I mean, look at this game. The game barely runs. Because that was one of the problems in the game when it first came out. I think they said there was a memory leak. where for this kind of memory leak, it keeps taking memory without giving it back to the system, to the point where it takes the memory. The system says, "Can I have more memory for this?" And then there's no memory left, and the game crashes. Happened to me a few times because I usually when I turn my game off, I don't turn the switch off. I just close the game, turn the switch into sleep mode, and let it be. So my game crashed a few times because of that. Like
That's on
easily the
you,
worst
pal.
running Pokemon game. What?
That's on you, pal. You're not turning it off.
How's that on me? The game shouldn't have a memory leak. It's something. I have a hard time like this kind of AAA game. Like I understand how they could let that slide without like testing it. Like everybody encountered it, or could encounter it. Like I don't know how they got through testing. Like I've no idea.
It was like that one Pokemon game where if you saved in the center of the Pokemon Center, it could delete your data.
Yeah. There's also a new bug. I think they were saying if you try to connect to the Pokemon Go, you're gonna like get your save data corrupted or something.
Oh man. So little trivial problems, nothing too major.
Yeah, like save data corruption. I have no idea how that this stuff. Like they're so technically incompetent. Like even the game barely runs. It's like chugging along. Pokemon pop in and out. Like I didn't have that much of a problem like in Legends Arceus, but like here it definitely became more of a problem. That's just my game crashes. I always find that to be a problem.
I mean, I don't think I had that problem.
Well, because you
I
actually
usually
close
turn my
your game.
Switch off. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm one of those weirdos who doesn't. So my game crashed. I was punished for my hubris.
How dare you try to leave your Switch on? Nintendo will punish you.
Yeah. But and also too, I know Colin's excited. The DLC got announced.
It did?
Oh, you didn't
Yeah,
see it?
No, I didn't.
Well,
DLC. It has two expansions in it.
it's like Sword and Shield.
Yeah, the first one is the Teal Mask. You go to the land of Kitakami.
Japan. Just say
Um,
Japan.
that, yeah, Camden. And then they're going, and then it's uh that one's coming out in the fall, and then the one coming out in the winter is called the Indigo Disc. You go to some school under the ocean,
Oh,
and uh, and there's 230 Pokemon returning for it.
see, that's the other thing too. I don't like. I mean, bit of a side tangent. I don't like how that we still don't have all the Pokemon back.
Probably too much
Yeah,
effort for them.
I know it's too much effort. It's just I don't like it. I'll never like it. Like even if they could say, okay, maybe we don't have it launch, we'll promise we'll get all the Pokemon in with a year. Okay, I guess I could live with that. But the fact that they're like, no, you know what, we're not going to do it, and to get most of them back, you have to get the DLC. I don't like it,
yeah.
especially when they have no excuse.
But people had like found for like DLC, like the Pokedex got like leaked for the DLC. They found out like which ones are coming back. A lot of like, I think it's like all the starters, at least like all the starters from every gen except 5 is coming back.
Oh, what?
What do
Yeah,
you mean?
What sense does that make?
do you think you operate on making sense?
This is true.
But your boy Charizard's coming back, Colin. Don't worry.
That's good.
Just you.
That's what
Just
I'd
you.
like to hear.
Yeah. Torterra's coming back for you, Craig.
Yeah, boy.
Snorlax will be back for me. But yeah, we'll see. I'll have to double check with that Gen 5 thing though. But I like the list didn't show the Gen 5 starters.
I mean, probably not. I think there was one. I think it was Samurott because he was in Legends Arceus and he has the Hisuian form.
Yeah.
I guess the thing for me with this game is it's such a downgrade from Legends Arceus.